Good afternoon. Welcome to the interview. I have several questions for you. At the beginning, could you please tell me about yourself?
Hello, my name is Igor Zubarev. I'm from Latvia. I'm 25 years old. At the moment, I'm a student of International Business School in the city of Groningen, namely Hanze University of Applied Sciences. This decision to go to the Netherlands was not easy for me because it happened at a very difficult stage in my life. Because my dream was to become a professional football player, and as I signed my first professional contract, several months later I decided that that's it. I need to do something else in my life, and I quit it. There are some personal reasons for this, so I would appreciate if I can not share them during this interview. However, my time in Holland was at the beginning very nice, very enthusiastic, and then it became pretty difficult for me. And then I was thinking, should I continue or no? There are several courses I like so much, and the rest I was thinking that that's not my thing. Later on, I just realized that I have a goal. I want to become a financial manager in the future, and before achieving that goal, I wish to be an accountant. Besides that, I have hobbies like the same sports I was doing is football, also chess, and also I love traveling.
Tell me about a time when you faced an obstacle or difficulty in communicating your ideas to a manager.
As I remember, during my last internship, which I was doing in Lisbon, in Portugal, I was doing it in the company who is renting apartments, rooms, flats, etc. So the difficulty was that I was responsible for marketing and sales, and we were supposed to rent our apartments in the regular basis. In total, we had around 200 apartments, and we were supposed to make sure that most of them are rented, and if not, then try to rent them as soon as possible. So I had faced a situation when I got a bit more freedom from my company supervisor. So I just decided I can take difficult decisions and some decisions during the negotiation process. So once I have lowered the price for a room because it was pretty difficult to rent it, and because the next month was coming, I decided that it's better to rent for a slightly lower price than to lose an opportunity to earn money. Um, However, my supervisor hasn't appreciated this decision I made, and he was pretty mad at me that I cannot take such decisions. And despite my justifications of my actions, he was still pretty mad at me. So we had a small conflict, but later on, the conflict was over.
Could you give me an example of a time when you were able to successfully persuade someone to see things your way at work?
Um, yes, I can do it. Coming back to Lisbon, to Portugal, to company called Place to Stay, the same housing company where I was doing my internship. So the difficulty was at that period that our summer season radically differs from the rest of the year because we have much more clients, we are much busier than usually, and our prices can boost by 200 up or 300%. So basically, the way we used to work changes, and all this um, was creating some pressure on us. So I just decided that I need to learn to use the new platforms as quickly as possible to be successful on my position. And it happened that it took me some days to learn how works the platform, namely Booking.com. I discovered for myself that the best way was to just explore it in all kinds of ways and manage to use it very well. Because from these platforms we were basically conducting sales, I just decided, okay, I do it pretty well. My sales, which I am responsible for, are going very well. I sell a lot, and my colleagues do not. So maybe I can give them an advice. And actually, there were some things I was doing differently. Namely, it was putting better quality pictures, putting a much better description so that guests have an idea what's around their apartment. And this was bringing results. So I shared this idea, and at the beginning they were not so enthusiastic about it, but later after they tried, they discovered that their sales have boosted, and they were very thankful to me. And they kept doing it, and it went much better than before.
Tell me about a time you had to lead a content project.
The only time I remember was in my very first year in the university. So we were involved in a project which involved three financial subjects. It was economics, it was financial accounting, and it was something else. I can't remember precisely what was it. And I was a person who was responsible for accounting. So basically, I was supposed to create the financial statements, namely it was the income statement and the balance sheet. And after we have handed in our project, my part, which I was doing, was very good, and our overall grade was amazing. So everyone were happy about it.
Tell me about how you worked effectively under pressure.
Yes, I remember that moment very well. It was the summer season at the same company I just described. Was my placement. So because we have much more clients during the summer season, and we have also pressure from our management because the company can earn much more money than in any other part of the year. So therefore we become much more busy. We have less time to think. We need to act, and we cannot make mistakes because otherwise our mistakes lead to lost money. At the same time, we had to hire additional people that could serve our clients. And the challenge was that we had to keep our sales very high, and also manage this new staff, so which doesn't have much experience. So we had to guide them in a way and answer all the questions they have. Because I'm a guy who is responsible for marketing and sales, I was caring more about successful sales, renting our apartments. So when there was just few days before the date comes, like 3 days or less, just to earn any money, then no money, I was lowering the price for for those rooms and fast in order to get sales. And at the same time, I was also answering all the questions my staff had. They could perform their best for the clients, that we don't get much negative feedback. The result was great because the sales were really amazing. The management was impressed, and they actually wanted me to stay longer, but unfortunately I could not stay in the company because my internship was over. But it was really great, and we received minimum complaints, so everyone were satisfied. The job was done very well.
Please describe a situation in which you needed to explain a complex problem to someone who had no understanding about the issue.
The problem which comes in my mind is the situation which was at the university. So when students struggle with some courses, what they do, they tell the teacher, and after that the teacher makes an announcement that the tutor is required. And I remember that I got pretty good grade at economics, so I just realized that I can earn community credit just by tutoring that first year student. And it was a challenge because I didn't have experience before. I had spent with him 5 weeks to explain the relationships of supply and demand in all the different scenarios. He could understand it very well. He passed the exam with a good grade, 7.3. I got my community credit. We were happy. It was a very nice experience. So I would love to do that again if I have an opportunity.
What is your biggest strength?
Um, that's a good question. I think my biggest strength is to handle the pressure, because in my opinion there are two ways the pressure can influence the human being. Either to break the human being and take control over him, or the other way around. You can use the pressure to work better, to feel that you need to do it, but to not break over it, but just use it as an additional motivation. So over the past years, I have improved this ability, and I think I will keep doing it because the trend is very positive. I'm pretty satisfied how I handle the pressure. Yeah, that's it.
Tell me about your proudest achievement.
Well, one of my proudest achievements is probably the fact that I don't consider my achievement something really proud. I consider that other people need to talk about my proudest achievements, that they feel happy about them, and I just need to keep going. But I believe my proudest achievement is still ahead.
Igor, thank you for the interview.
Thank you, it was my pleasure.